Hey everybody, good to see ya. We are here on Lighthouse Point at Lookout Cay. It's gorgeous.
It's finally here. It's finally open, and we are so glad to have you.
All right, so stick around. We've got lots to tell you about this island. Hey, good morning, and it's early. We are here getting ready to dock for the first time at Lighthouse Point, Lookout Cay, and this is kind of an exciting time. It's very early in the morning. It's just now becoming 6 o'clock. This is the first time the Fantasy will have docked here. Another ship came in, Magic came in the other day for a media tour, just a test run, but we are technically the first paying passengers to come on board and see here. And so I'm excited, and I'm going to show you as we pull up to the port here in just a few moments. But before we get there, just wanted to say a few things that I've learned. It's supposed to be very hot here, and they're going out of their way to make sure everybody wears head protection and skin protection because it is so new. The trees aren't all tall, and so finding shade apparently is going to be a challenge. That's some of the feedback they already got. They brought in the Magic, like I said the other day, for the media tour, and it has about half the passengers that the Fantasy does, and they were apparently all struggling to find umbrellas and shade. And so it's going to be kind of an interesting challenge this morning. Additionally, I guess they haven't quite gotten the bug control down, so we're told to expect and to be not concerned, but just to make sure you eat your food quickly and don't leave it sitting there because the bugs will swarm. Now, this is just some of the stuff the chatter that's going on. We'll be sure to look at it, as we're on the island today and give you some of our experience and feedback on that. But it does make sense about the shade and the trees not being grown fully yet. And so, for a while, it may take a while for all of this to develop. What I have heard, and what you can see behind me, and I'm going to get closer, is to protect the coral reef, they had to build the dock out into the ocean further. It's about over half a mile. Some are saying as much as 7/10 of a mile. I don't know, I'm going to test it with my Apple Watch steps this morning as we go out there. But we have to walk that all the way to the first tram stop. And for most people, that's not a big deal. If you're at Disney, you're used to walking, right? But I can imagine in the heat with no shade, for some people that are a little more elderly or medically challenged, that's going to be a difficult thing to do. So we'll see what they offer this cruise and in time, but we've been told from the preview cruise that went the other day that's a challenge. So we'll see. We'll let you know. Probably already know, if you're interested in Lookout Cay, that this island is populated. The other half of it down at that end has residents and a village of sorts. I don't know a ton about it myself, but I am aware that that's the case, and that Disney has leased all of this land or purchased. I don't know the agreement with the local government, but in any case, they've gotten the rights to develop this into the land and build the port. So I'm gonna try to find out. I think there's some arrangements where the local residents can come in to this entertainment area. Certainly, I'm sure a number of them are hired. Some jobs have been created through this, but I'll try try to find out more today about that. We need to offload a bunch of crew and all of our food for lunch. That's some of what they do here. I don't know how different it is than Castaway Cay because, again, there are actual residents here. There could be warehouses and products and people living here with things in stock, but certainly a lot of the ship crew still will get off and man all the guest services sort of activities on the island. But there are a lot of people down there waiting for us. Okay, we're gonna go get ready, and in a couple hours we will be out on the island. They're docking here at the port at about 6:30 now. And they're not letting us off till 8:30, so they've got a lot of work to do to offload things and get stuff ready for all of the passengers to go have a magical day. We are officially off the boat. What do you think, Diane?
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a
I'll
long walk.
At the island.
Huh?
I'll meet you at the island.
Oh,
And
yeah, you're probably just gonna go for it, huh? You're not gonna wait for me?
No, I'm not.
You're not that. You're not the kind soul that everybody thinks you are.
No. But you can ask them so
Okay.
that you can keep up.
Here we go on our long walk on an even longer pier. There we
You wanna
go.
with them?
No.
Paprika, hello. 8 days of the fire.
Okay. This is cool.
Bye.
Oh, she's off. Watch out, everybody. She's dangerous too. Okay, I've started my fitness band on walk to see how long this pier is, and I'll let you know at the end. At least in the morning, it's not all that hot yet, but coming back in the afternoon after you're tired and burned, you might find this challenging. You know, it just depends on your fitness level. But it's kind of cool. It feels like you're walking on this really like Florida Key Bridge or something. It's cool. It's nice. Beautiful water. Let me turn it around so you can see. Just the water and the sun, the sun glistening off the surface. It's beautiful. There's some rock formations out there at the end of the point. Cabanas are right there in the first cove. And there are crowds of people exiting the ship to see it for the first time. Okay, as Diane likes to do, she took off just to go as fast as she could. The problem is I don't think she'll be able to because it's so full of people. But nonetheless, anytime she gets a stretch of distance that she feels she can go, she likes to go at full speed. And then she loves hearing the remarks of everybody. What? Look at her. What? How's she go so fast? So she gets a kick out of that, as you can imagine. All right, they have this fun island music going on with a great rhythm. And if you're like me, you like to walk to the beat. So you end up with a pretty good pace going on. And it seems that everybody's kind of doing that. I think we just naturally fall into that rhythm. Oh, a bug. So that's kind of fun. I'm sure they thought that out. Although island music is just would have been normal anyway. But there are different tempos of island music. So this is a nice walking pace. Okay, again, there's that cruise ship out there. It doesn't look like it's going into a port. So I can only imagine, I'm sure that's not the case, but I can only imagine that they're out there making all their passengers jealous that Disney has a brand new island excursion that they've developed here. And so they're just there either celebrating with us or making their passengers feel like, I'm on the wrong ship. I should have gone on Disney. All right, I just spoke with somebody about that ship out there, and they're not entirely certain either. She loved my idea that maybe they're there to celebrate Disney and make their guests jealous. But she also thinks that perhaps they're actually tendering some people on to the other side of the island, that there may be excursions for that. So this may be one of their ports, but they do not have a dock that they go into. Years ago, we did a Hawaiian cruise with Norwegian, which I've already mentioned was a horrible experience, but tendering was part of that. I mean, it works. A lot of cruise lines do it. I'm not a fan if we can get away from doing that, but it's a big challenge, particularly for people with mobility issues. So keep that in mind if you are looking at cruising and you have any sort of chair or scooter or walking issues. Tenders often have some issues, so just be mindful of that. Okay, the crew are just giddy. They're all walking by with such excitement, and they're proud of this moment. This is a great step forward for the cruise line, Vessel Cruise. They're always friendly, happy. They've been trained so well at guest services. But today, again, there's just a little bit of air drawn into their chest, you know, and they're just giddy. Some crew have walked by and saluted us and said, "Good morning, everybody," you know, with all the muster that they could do. Oh, hello. They're gonna show up on our channel. All right. So, yeah, it's a fun morning. Actually, this walk hasn't been as bad. They had a spot along the way where they were offering cold towels to put around your neck or wipe your face. Let's see. Oh, I'm getting near the end, and I'm only at 4/10 of a mile. So certainly not 7/10 of a mile. It'll be under a half a mile, which is not bad. Although it is hot already at 8:30, 9 o'clock in the morning. As you can imagine, it is the Bahamas, and that's what you get. And later in the day, again, after you're tired. But you know, once you get on the tram and get to your spot at the beach, you're walking all around all the other shops and everything. So there's plenty of walking. This isn't bad at all. And it's nice and modern and concrete smooth. So it's a good, comfortable walk. Okay, let me turn this around. All right, we're getting near the end. Here they've got some smaller docks for small boats, probably for excursions, for fishing or the like. I'm sure someday, if not already, I didn't look at the excursions, they probably have parasailing and, you know, all that stuff. Family cabanas right there. That's a nice little row of buildings. Very expensive, very difficult to get into. They were all sold out. Not that we could have afforded to try, but we still looked. And of course they were sold out. And because we're platinum, we were able to check out reservations really early. So I don't know how they were all sold out already, but so, oh, this is beautifully landscaped here. When this fills in someday, this is gonna be gorgeous. But they've planted fully mature trees and stuff, so I'm not entirely sure I believe that gentleman's first statement about no shade because of the immature landscape. Disney knows. They go to tree farms. They have their own tree farms. Because these palms are giant and they're all new. So it's beautiful. All right. They have all these red wagons. I don't know if you could see those across the way. They had them at both ends, I'm sure for families to carry some of their extra gear. So here's the entrance. Get their logo and a photo. This is great. All right, see if that focused on my watch. Like that, just a half a mile walk. That's not too bad. All right, here we are at Lookout Cay at Lighthouse Point. It's pronounced Key, not K. I know everybody looks at it and wants to read it that way, but you know, English is a weird language, and this is the Bahamian pronunciation, just like the Florida Keys that we spell K-E-Y-S. This is cool, just came through that here. We got the charter boat check-in. Castaway Cay is designed more rustic with weather-worn wood. This clearly is designed more festive and modern. It's just beautiful, this open, let me back it up. There we go. This open plaza with the concrete work, gorgeous landscaping. The Last Chance stand is not open yet, but I'm sure they're gonna have plenty of product. Oh, look at this. Lots of little sculptures on rocks. Okay, look at that. How fun is that? Alright, they have their water package with cooler bags. Those are nice looking cooler bags too. Alright, lots of other vloggers. You can Discovery Trail. They're going to have these QR codes with different things that will pop up the information for the area. There's Diane.
Glenn
Look at
finally
that.
made
She's probably
the
been
long
sitting there for a long time. So. Hey.
Watch out for crabs.
Watch out for crabs. Oh, look at that. There really are some.
But look on the walls too.
Okay. Look at that. It's not sure what to make of all these people here. Hello, mister. You coming my way? Get in close. Okay. You better watch out. There's lots of feet around here. Hello, lookout. You better look out.
So it's very much a construction zone still. Literally, you can tell the landscaping. It just went in probably Tuesday, and
Oh look, they cut down the island's depth to make the flat road. That's fascinating. That. See through the window there how they cut the road out on both sides. That's interesting that they felt that the surface maybe was too undulating. I did ask one of the crew members if the local residents could come into the areas here, and they said limited access during days of the week that the ship isn't in port. They basically have probably a paid experience for local residents to come in limited quantities because a lot of their staff is from the ship, so I'm sure they have just a reserved amount. But that allows the space to be enjoyed, all the curated beaches to be enjoyed by the locals, which is wonderful. Makes sense, seems appropriate, but apparently not while guests are here.
Welcome to Lookout Cay, guys.
All right, gentlemen, tell me about the beach. Tell me about the snorkeling.
Oh, our beach
Tell me about the great white.
is amazing. Okay, we have pink sands, we have wonderful coral reefs, we have beautiful fish. Man, it's one to really look at in person. You guys are going to enjoy the sights that we have here. Very wonderful.
You all, everybody that's been local to the Bahamas that has welcomed us seem very excited that this has opened up.
Yeah.
How's this going to impact all of you, besides giving you jobs, which is a great thing? Do you like more tourists?
Well, the Bahamas, Eleuthera.
Oh yeah, you're allowed to say we really wish Disney didn't come here, but
If you didn't know,
don't say that.
If you didn't know, Eleuthera is the #1 tourist designated island in the Bahamas.
Oh, is it? Oh, wonderful.
The #1.
where are your people?
The #1, you know, so we always welcome you well. It's good for the tourism, it's good for the island life. It brings sustainability to the island, to the country, you know.
Do you actually live on this island, or do you transport when the ships are in from another one of the islands?
We live here.
You live here?
Yes,
Okay,
we do.
nice.
Now, did Disney build housing for everybody,
Or you live on the
For
residential
most
part?
they built. For most they built property. For
Wonderful.
everyone. Yeah.
Well, that's
So
nice.
Out there you're gonna have over 1,000 species of local fishes.
Okay.
Fishes inside the water. Probably gonna see some barracudas,
some dolphins. You might get see some dolphins today.
That's exciting.
A few maybe some lyrics. Now there's a lot of pilchards. A lot of pilchards are going to be out there. A lot of jackfish.
Okay.
So
What are the little crabs that I've seen walking around? What's their name?
Man, they're white. They're the white crabs.
White crabs.
Right.
Yeah,
Even though they're pink.
Yeah, because they're still young. As they
Okay.
mature and get older, then they change in color.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
They change in color.
How big do they get? Do I need to be
they
concerned
don't
that a
get too
giant
big.
crab is going to
Man,
come
no.
attack us? Or
They actually
They're about what? Let's say about 5 inches in length.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, the one we saw was about 2.5, 3.
Yeah, babies.
Yeah.
Babies.
Okay, well, we'll let you get to work.
All right,
we've got
guys.
people to let us- Thank you so much.
Like, share, and comment. Land banks here at Lookout Cay, Eleuthera, Bahamas.
When you come,
Yeah.
ask for win and
And
ask for
everybody
win.
gets a free Lookout
There we go.
Cay hat, just like that.
Ask for win and ask
No,
for win.
no, they don't get free hats. But there you go.
Have a wonderful experience.
Thank you. Thank you so much. That was fun. That was fun meeting those guys. They gave us a lot of information, didn't they? Look this beautiful sculpture. In the middle here. Excuse me. There you go. Yeah, that's cool. Nice landscape areas. Handing out lots of towels. Good morning. Good morning. Thank you. I don't know where Diane went. Guest services, Disney things. Of course, Disney has their shopping. There's bicycle rentals, which apparently the bicycles aren't being rented today. Here's our first store. Welcome to Disney, of course. Okay, everybody is in the store. Maybe not everybody, but a significant amount of people. And the line is so long, the amount of people to check out, because everybody wants to make sure they get some gear before it's sold out. Even though we're going to be here 2 days, and I'm sure Disney was prepared, you know, but panic sets in because we've all been there when an inaugural thing just sort of disappears. But I don't see anything that says inaugural on it. They do have a good size range. Many of the products go up to 3X. Most everything is the standard small through 2X. And so that's good. I'm going to get this attractive quarter zip pool because I could wear that all year long in South Carolina. And then a hooded cover-up sort of thing, because I brought one from Alani with me. You saw me wearing it actually this morning at the docking of the ship. But you know, to get one with Lookout Cay on it, so that's exciting. And then I figured I'm just going to get in line and wait for Diane. She's going to continue to shop, but this line is so long. Look at this. It wraps around down there and loops around, and then it goes all the way back behind me and around the building, entirely around the building to the door on the far side. And I think they only have 2 registers. So maybe for the first cruise, they should have set up a bank of extra registers outside. But you know, if they don't have the equipment, they don't have the equipment. And but it's pretty intense. But you know, we're Disney, and Disney people, they know how to shop, and Disney knows how to sell. So, you know, capitalism at its finest, or not so finest, determining your view of things. It's pretty intense. It's just a bit crowded. But we did find they had additional lines and ended up getting a shorter line, but it's still taking its time. So we finally made it through the shopping experience. It's only 10:30. That was a long time. This is a cool picture spot. Like this. Some local Bahamian items in this shop. Jewelry and weavings and prints. Over there though is the draw of the water and the beautiful buildings that they've created for what I imagine are the dining spaces and such. Oh, the Goombay Cultural Center. That's cool. It's beautiful. Here's the watering hole bar with all that table seating down there going out to the beach. And Diane wants to keep going down this way. So look at this. So many of these roofs are such a cool design, but they all seem to have African animal prints. I saw one that was zebra. And I know there's no zebra on the Bahamas, but who knows? It's beautiful though. It's just a fun environment. This is going to be one of the lunch sections. This is True True Barbecue, and there's a True True Barbecue 2, and they've got different food items above the windows that roll up. Here's an ice cream machine and soda station. This place is going to be crowded in an hour or two. There's lots of shade dining. So I'm not entirely sure what people were saying with shade being difficult to find, because I see lots of seating, tables under the shade. But we'll see. First impressions think that we were not given the best thoughts and feedback from somebody else. Beautiful design work, impressionistic painting. You know I'm drawn to that, right? Yeah, smells nice. Island scents. And you know, someday we're gonna come back and all of this landscape is gonna be lush and full. It grows so quickly here in the tropics, so it's gonna be gorgeous. But they planted mature trees already, so it's visually just nice. Lots of bright colored umbrellas out on these beautiful beaches. And interestingly, there aren't people out here. Where did everybody go?
Yeah, I heard a guy saying that all the umbrellas were gone and blah, 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 blah. And I was like, oh my God.
No, I mean, there's hardly anybody out there. This is wild. So a lot of people may have not realized all this beach was on this side of the dining or something, went down to the ends. But it's amazing. And so it looks like that the umbrellas are up on a little bit of a bluff before you get down to the water. That's probably smart for any sort of hurricane surges as well. I bet that they can keep the beach from eroding as much. But this is beautiful. There's a kids and family water slide station up there. There's the food areas. We come out to the beach. They don't have quite as much umbrella and seating down here, but that's fine. They've got a beautiful beach. And with the rocks out there, it's just nice. We're gonna go play for a little while. Diane is in her happy spot. She brought her own floaty. She's just out here enjoying the water. All right, I thought I'd give you a view out in the water. Look at this. From this side, the beach is just beautiful with all those umbrellas. And in the background, you can see the buildings. There's a water play park right there. And there's the food venues and restrooms in different areas over there. Just beautiful. The color of the water is amazing. Just clear beaches. There are different patches of rock and wildlife. There's a very large one down there, but I don't have snorkel masks to be able to tell what to see there. But this is just amazing, amazing water, skies. Are you happy?
So, different than Castaway Cay, the sand here is pristine.
And it's soft.
All the way out. Like there's no seashells that are cutting up your feet. There are no...
Well, didn't they have to bring sand in to Castaway Cay, and they built the beach?
I don't know, but
Yeah.
like as the years have gone by, it's gotten more and more murky and
Yeah.
ooky. Like halfway through the day, it's so silty, you can't really see.
Well, I don't recall right now if the two guys that we filmed as we were coming in, they were talking to us about the beach, but they said these islands, the Eleuthera Islands, had the most pristine, beautiful beaches in all the Bahamas.
They're
So
gorgeous.
he probably wasn't wrong.
Like walking out and walking through the sand
Yeah.
and walking out into the water.
It's just powdery,
And
soft
just-
sand.
Yeah, and it goes all the way out like that. There's no,
Yeah.
you know, having to avoid critters and creepies and coral on these beaches that we've encountered at all.
Yeah.
I mean, I know there's some patches where they're snorkeling, but they're easy to spot and they're, you know,
Yeah. So
So-
it's just gorgeous. As far as the eye can see, it's this incredible light blue water because the sand is so white. The sky's reflecting it beautifully. Just amazing.
And even with a ship of this size and absolutely jam-crammed full, like people have spread out
Yeah.
nicely, and
Again,
like,
we
you
were
can find
we
plenty
were
of
given some
chairs and plenty of-
information. Yeah, we were given information last night that I shared with you already and already corrected it. They were wrong. This island clearly has enough shade umbrellas to handle the larger ship.
Well, there's shade umbrellas, but they're talking about the trees growing
Just,
in. And
but even then, they planted mature trees. I mean, we'll have to see what the bug
you
situation
expected
is.
worse, but
Yeah, they said at food we might have bug situation, so we'll see that. But so far, there's plenty of seating. There's
I haven't
plenty
seen
of
any
umbrellas.
bugs or-
There are sections of umbrellas on the other side of that first ridge there. We showed you that. That I just walked back there a moment ago. Here we are, hours into our day here, and most of those chairs are empty. So I thought I heard that this island was being designed to handle multiple ships, and didn't you
Yes.
say that again last
Yes.
night? So I forgot that I had heard that, but now that you reminded me last
Yeah.
night. So multiple ships can disembark here at one time. They've designed it for that. Okay, the flies are a real thing. You got to cover when you're in line because they are everywhere. Let's see what it's like when we have to go sit down and uncover to eat, but be prepared for that. All right, look, that Mickey and his island vibe. Lookout Cay island vibe. Nice.
Okay, we're gonna try something. We're gonna try the Diane Explore Can. Let's see if I can just explore Lookout Cay and you can come along with me. How fun is this? Oh my gosh. I just want to get on those slides and play in the water there. Like, that's got to be fresh water. Well, that's a good time. Probably can't even express how beautiful this water is. It's just stunning. So this is the Serenity Bay Bar. And the view from the deck here, unbelievable.
2:45. It's starting to wind down around here. It's pretty hot. We're supposed to be off the island by 4:45, and it does take a while to get back. So I'm gonna start now, and we'll see how it goes. Yeah, so we have a problem. Houston, we have a problem. Diane left me because she while I was painting, went and videoed and toured a lot of the other island spaces, and in her stuff was my ID, and she decided not to stay on the island but to go back and clean up and go to the rainforest spa and do all the things to cool down. So did you hear it? She has my ID. And you need a photo ID and your key to the world to get through customs, to get off the island, because we are in the Bahamas, a different country. Yeah, so that gets added to this video. What do they do? What is the process for one who forgets their ID? We're supposed to be the people who know what we're doing, right? Okay, that's Diane. Yeah, she's gonna see this and she's gonna know. She's gonna say, yep, Glenn, you're right. So, all right, so I'll keep you posted. Well, the Bahamian authorities let me out. I told them my ship room number, my name, and my wife's name, and they're like, okay, you can leave. But now I have to walk to the ship itself, and I may not get on. So I'm gonna be stuck in no man's land. All right, I'm on the long walk back, but there's the ship out there. It's a beautiful walk. The arching curve of the port or the pier or whatever, going out to that ship. So, thankfully this cruise is coming back here on Thursday, 2 days from now. So if for some reason they don't let me on the ship, wink wink, I'm sure they will. But in any case, I could stay here and they'll pick me up. My wife can bring my ID when she gets off the ship on Thursday. Yeah, not gonna happen, but it's funny to imagine. Okay, well here, you see me on the ship. They let me on. I'm not entirely sure why it was so easy, but of course I had no doubt that they would let me on. But I just went up to the security and said I didn't have my ID, told them my room number, told them my full name, told them my wife's name. They pulled it up, saw my photo, and let me on. So I'm thankful that that process isn't as scary as it could have been. I thought that they would have me sit outside and wait till they got a hold of Diane to come down and bring my ID with her. So much nicer indeed. So there you go. All right. All right, we are back at Lookout Cay for day 2, and it's a little windy, it's a little gusty.
Not quite the same weather as the other day.
Not quite the same. We got beautiful.
We're hoping it'll burn off.
Yeah, we got beautiful weather the first day. Today, not so much, but we're going to capture a few more things that we missed, just to make sure this is a full review of what the island has to offer. We're also then, after we're done with that, we're going to spend some time just reviewing our thoughts on the island as a whole and some of the scuttlebutt we've heard from other guests, because Diane seems to find the gossipers at the hot tub or
in the pool. People seem to talk in the pool.
Yes.
I don't know if it's the alcohol that's being distributed. Maybe. Or, yeah.
Let me just give a heads up, or just sort of hint towards it. I have mostly favorable things, but these gossiping people in the pool, they've got some negative things. I think they're a bit of a whiner, but some of it's worth noting, and we'll talk about it.
Well, one is right behind you.
Yeah, this walkway. But you know what? Again, I come down to, there's a lot of walking at Castaway Cay. There's a lot of walking at Disney World. There's a lot of walking in life. You know, this isn't the only port in the world that has a long walkway to protect the coral reefs.
No, I totally am on top of and believe in that they should
and they have
this coral reef.
They have golf
Disney.
carts.
They got to solve this.
Yeah, maybe some people mover, maybe a tram, but it's only so wide, and I think they didn't plan for 2-lane traffic. But they have golf carts for people who need it.
Or scooter.
Or scooters for everybody.
I could sell this scooter and buy a beach house.
Yeah, but then you'd have to walk it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
The beach house is
but
important
I would
to
just,
you.
yeah, I would get right back on the boat. and-
Okay, well let's go see some more sights.
Okay. Okay. So once you've made the long walk and get through the Bahamian checkpoint, there's this little bit of civilization before you get on the tram. And wait for it. Here at this little booth, you see it? You see it? Dole Whip. Dole Whip. All right, these guys just assured me that this is the best Dole Whip they have ever made, that they're waiting on me to test it. This is mango and pineapple swirl with mango boba. Yes, please.
Hey, I don't know this for a fact, but there's that construction yard and it looks like they're building some other sort of pier, and originally we had heard that this place would be able to house 2 ships. So I have a feeling they're building another pier in the woods adjacent to that dock there. Put a dock for the second ship. That makes a lot of sense. Look at that, she's on the octopus tentacle, making her circles. There she goes. Everywhere she goes. Okay, they're good about offering these wagons so that if you do have a lot of stuff to walk down the pier, kids and all your gear, you have that at least. They have a bunch of strollers lined up here that you could use as well. So they know you're moving around, but they're helping.
We arrived so late that all of the seating is gone.
All of the seating seems to be gone because they don't put as many chairs on the sand side of the berm. But, and a lot of people don't like sitting on, I mean, look at all these chairs over here. On this side of the berm, every single one of those chairs is empty. Clearly the guests don't like those. I don't know if you actually, let me zoom in. There we go. Clearly the guests do not like chairs on the berm side of the sand. Something Diane noticed is often they have the little beach chairs that are very low to the ground, difficult to get in.
You cannot get out of.
Yeah, you can't get out of them. People
you're
carry them
over
down to the
50,
water.
give
But look
it
at
up.
that, they've got some normal height chairs as well. So that's great for elderly or mobility inclined people. So that's nice.
Or just humans.
Or just humans. All right, here's a duplicate of the barbecue area, just like Cookies 1 and Cookies 2 at Castaway Cay. They have True 2 barbecue, and it's a carbon copy. Here's the 5 covered dining areas around. Oh, this one only has 4, but they're numbered. You can see 3 and 4. True 2 barbecue, first one has 5 seating areas. People are complaining, and I agree as well, that you have to go in a line for this, then you have to get out of that line and go into a new line for that. Whereas at Cookies, you start in one line and then you just keep wrapping with your tray around. And I think that goes faster. Hopefully they'll change this in time with feedback. I'm sure we're gonna offer that feedback. We've heard other people will as well. Here's another set of cabanas between the two. There's the family beach on this end and the 2 barbecue spaces. And then here are the cabanas, and then on the other side of the cabanas is Serenity Bay. Okay, so here's yet another example of nobody's using any of these chairs, and yet the loungers out of the water are completely filled up. You just don't have enough out there for people's preferences. I don't care, because in my mind, if you're laying in the sun, your eyes are closed, you're fine, and you can hear the water back here. And then when you want to go into the water, you just walk a little ways so you get to the water. But obviously, I'm in the minority based on how people are scoping out the chairs. One of the guests in this cabana were gracious enough to let me come in and see what the cabana looks like. Thank you so much, sir. So look at that. You walk in, you've got a double wide slider. Want to get out of the sun, you've got some great padded seating. And you've got a refrigerated area. It comes with a copper tone and artwork and a fully stocked mini fridge. It's great. Table. Look at these padded seats, look amazing. I bet those are super comfortable, and you walk out to your own beach access out here. Cabanas are great. Okay, that was super kind of them to let me interrupt their lounging. And so that's a great cabana. She said that they had one the other day, they had one further down the way here. A and B are like for 6 to 10 people. And so they've got a bigger table and bigger deck space. It's just even more grand. And these are 18 and only. So this is Serenity Bay, 18 over only. So even though they say family, they're a family of adults, not kids. So I don't know the complaint people had about Serenity Bay being too noisy. I don't quite buy it. It's not passing the smell test, as they say. All right, here's the larger cabana that has the outside deck here for more people. It's just extended. Here's the Serenity Bay barbecue area. It's smaller, obviously, because there's less people that are over this end of the beach. But it's got beautiful landscaping. And the trail ends right into the sand. You can get a little further down over there on what I think is probably a bar and bathroom complex. It's all so beautiful, but very different than Castaway Cay in terms of the separation of Serenity Bay. What do you think?
I don't think it's as big a deal as you think it is.
No, I don't think it is. I think we heard the comments at the pool about it being noisy, and I just don't think it passes, as I said already, the smell test, because those cabanas are not family. So this beach is very separated. Unless the sound of the kids just wafts through the air. But
yeah. I mean, you don't have your own lagoon. That's the difference.
But
But who can separate the ocean? I mean,
yeah. And so you
like,
look
if
down
they
the
made
beach
the
and you see
adult
some kid. How?
section down at the other side.
Yeah.
But also, I think one of the complaints is there's not a lot of seating here,
Oh.
and that's a problem.
Oh, it is smaller and it doesn't have quite the amount of. Well, it goes back around there.
Like I saw it in the peak, and it was a lot of
It was full. Okay.
So
Well,
they'll have to solve that.
yeah. They could add more tables and chairs. There's some open spaces. This is the first major weekend, and certainly when they get 2 cruise ships in here, if it's already full on the one, they're gonna have to solve this. But they've got time. Disney knows how to iterate the process.
Yeah.
They'll make it work.
And the guests help them figure it out.
Yeah,
I
with
mean,
all the feedback.
guests are dragging the chairs over the berm.
Yes.
So
Yes.
yeah,
they're
they'll
gonna
know.
discover that. So our concern for the people, although Disney knows they've been, when the surveys come, a lot of people are going to be disrespectful and rude and complain. We need to give feedback constructively. In fact, Diane, your feedback. What happened? We had a conversation with the housekeeping manager this morning. Share your feedback and how that went for you.
I had a really embarrassing, humiliating, uncomfortable situation at the spa. Now, ladies, we all know when you go and want to have a spa day, you want to feel pampered and like you are queen for the day and everything is wonderful. Well, I went to the spa and they didn't have a robe for me. And I was like, do you have larger sizes and robes? And a teeny tiny little person said, oh, they have them up at the front desk. Well, I'm standing dripping wet in my swimsuit. I really don't want to drip my way all the way to the front desk. And so she finally kind of, with a little attitude, goes to get me one. And she comes back and she hands me a folded up robe that says, and it says, this is the largest size they have. So I open it up and it's a medium. Like it would fit on my doll. It was just, are you kidding me? And it was just, you know, and I was angry and upset and felt
Excluded.
excluded.
Yeah.
I felt embarrassed and like I was not welcome there. So I ruminated on that, kind of laid there in the, you know, rainforest room, just feeling really unhappy, and thought I've got to do an action to solve this. So I talked to the manager. The manager then talked to the head of housekeeping, whom I guess is the one who actually orders these sorts of things.
For the regular rooms, not the spa.
But probably for the whole ship.
Oh, maybe. Okay.
I don't know. And then I also talked to the head of the training team that, you know, trains all of the Disney workers in bringing the magic and, you know, sharing the magic with their guests. And thankfully she was a person of more stature like myself and more personality like myself. Anyway, but I discussed with her, why are you excluding such a large number of your guests? Because if you just look around the ship, it's obvious that so many of us are not a size medium. So they should be available for all guests. And if the size is not readily available, it should be somewhere available so that you can get it. So anyway, today we ran into the head of housekeeping. Now Len was completely freaked out because she somehow knew our room number. And he's thinking, how do you, like, she knew exactly where we were staying. And he couldn't figure out how she could possibly know that. And in the back of my mind, it's like, okay, there's been some discussion about my comment about the large number of guests that are feeling excluded and feeling less than as a Disney participant. And so she shared that an order has been placed for robes of all sizes so that all guests will have opportunity to enjoy the spa or enjoy a robe in their room, not dependent on their size, that all guests will be included.
Yeah, so again, this isn't just the spa. The spa is run by Census, a third-party organization.
It is, but their robes are taken care of by housekeeping.
And so she heard that comment, and she ordered them for concierge, because
yes,
when we stayed one time on the Wish on concierge, we didn't think to ask if there were different size robes. We just saw that they didn't fit.
we just felt bad and
it's like,
crappy.
okay,
and
another
excluded.
hotel room that doesn't have anything that works for us. And we never thought to ask. But today we asked, and she said, oh yes, I've ordered them now for all of the ship. So, well done you, Diane. Positive feedback. And they acted on it. Well done, Disney.
Yes.
So, good. So, a good constructive comment can make a difference. Diane, the Disney advocate.
That's my goal, my reason for living.
All right, here is the family splash pad area. Interestingly, how it's different from Castaway Cay, it's not out in the ocean. It is in a pool area. And so it's more like one of the hotels. But that makes sense because they're trying to protect their beach here a little bit more. It's not this is more open ocean, I suspect. I'm not speaking with actual knowledge, I'm just trying to speculate why it was done this way. But it looks fun. Kids are certainly having a great time. Here's one thing that we've heard from people is they only have one store to buy at, Disney Tings, at the entrance there. But this is like, here's two bars immediately next to each other. There's at least 4 or 5 bars. No problem getting bars out here. They don't seem to have more products. Hi, Mickey. Okay, this area is hidden play zone where you check them in if they want to not be at the beach and you want to go to Serenity Bay or something, or they just want to play with other kids. There's an activity area. Lots of raised deck walkways everywhere in this island. Here's another play area for some older kids. Another bar.
It drops you out into the sand.
Yeah, and then you have to walk across the sand to go to another ramp to get over to the water. All right, here's an extension of beach that's not maintained by the lifeguards and such. But that walkway, you can see all those people. Let me zoom in on it. All those people are going to and from the old Lighthouse Point, that outcropping of rocks. We saw the other side from the ship. That's the point of the island. And there is a nature trail that goes around through there and comes out here at the other end of this walkway that you can walk back in there. And so that's a nice activity. I would imagine someday they might have a 5K type thing that runs on the island. A lot of people are asking about that. Nobody's announced that publicly to my knowledge, but again, you can imagine. This island's got a lot of space. It's big. All right, we're gonna try the nature trail, see how accessible it is as it stands, and go out to that Lighthouse Point if we can make it out there. All right, Diana's heading back. As you can see, it got too soft and the wheels were embedded in. So I'm still gonna do the walk and see for myself and bring it to you. Nature walk, they've got the sort of areas where you can stop and read about the different wildlife and the habitat. And oh, there's a fork in the road. Which way should I go? But it's interesting, look at the geography here of the hill, the striations, how it was lifted up out of the ocean at one point, or I'm not entirely sure how this land was formed out in the islands, to be honest. I'm geologically ignorant at the moment. But in any case, you can see it, it's pretty cool. It's me of the Robert Frost poem. It says, I came across two roads and I took the one less traveled by. All the crowds are down there. By crowd, 5 people. But nobody on this road. So here we go. Let's see. Oh, apparently that one must meet up that end with stairs or something to come up to this. It is beautiful landscape. Geological features. Look at this. Rock is hollowed out and white down in there. That's just fascinating. So I came to the top of this hill. Looks like they're building more trails and paths, all different areas. But this hill takes you up to the historic lighthouse. Again, says it's accessible, but not. And it's also steep. So if you're not in a motorized vehicle, wheelchair, and somebody has to push you, this would be a challenge. Quite a challenge. So be aware of that. Look at this, we're coming up to the lighthouse. That's cool. It's interesting that it's not out at the point of those rocks, but it does alert you you're coming near the island. Let me give you a panorama of the old lighthouse up here. Go around and there's the rocky outcrop that goes out, those 3 rocks, but from this view you can't tell so much. This is just beautiful. Beautiful. Okay, so pardon the wind here.
Don't say the okay, so.
Yeah, well, all right. Hey, excuse the wind if you would, please. Only take this hat off. There we go, that's much better. So, I just said, there we go. All right, so
Forgive the wind.
Yeah.
This is a, blustery day.
Yes,
but
it
it's
is.
warm and it's still lovely and I'm still gonna get in the water.
Okay.
But at least we were able to explore all of Lookout Cay without the scorching sun that we had the other day.
Yeah.
And that was great for Len because especially he is walking and it is a bit of a expansive area.
It's a big area, yeah.
And we haven't
But it's
even
fine. It's
begun
doable.
to scratch the surface. I mean, they don't even have the nature trails open yet or some of the walking paths and so forth. They're still working on a lot of that.
One of the trails is open in a moment. It goes back behind us to that outcropping of rocks that is old Lighthouse Point. And so there is a trail that goes back there and a lot of people are walking back along the beach coming
Bald
down
head
here.
is right in front of it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, there you go. See?
There
you
are.
go.
Okay.
So, but we wanted to give you a little bit of a summary just quickly. I think we've dropped in a lot of our opinions and different thoughts from other people. But let's just do a quick little summary. First off, just, is it worth it? Is it wonderful? Is it horrible?
Absolutely worth it.
Absolutely worth it. It's gorgeous.
Do not miss it if you have a chance.
If you hear a lot of negative, just come judge for yourself. I think a lot of
plan
people
ahead.
know what to expect.
Plan your beach backpack to do the walk.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like you plan the walk at Disney.
Yeah.
You just plan accordingly. Wear comfortable shoes. You wear,
But a lot of people will say, well, it's not Castaway Cay. And you know what? They're right. It's not. But that doesn't mean it's bad.
That means
it's like
Disney World
people
isn't Disneyland.
Exactly.
And
the wish is not the treasure of fantasy. And a lot of people complained about the wish. A lot of people have a hard time accepting something new. There are some flaws that need to be fixed.
But they're on them.
And they're on them.
Already between Tuesday and Thursday.
We heard that all the
today.
bathroom soap dispensers didn't work today.
And they fixed them.
They fixed them. They added new batteries.
Yeah.
So
it's just little silly things that they're on it. It's just, this is a brand new project. We are the first people on the floor.
All these wood walkways, you can smell the fresh cut wood.
It
was
happened
installed
Monday
new.
night.
Yeah.
Somebody was here in the middle of the night.
Maybe a little bit earlier.
Anyway.
But there's just a lot of things that will be adjusted over time. The landscaping, when it fills in, it's gorgeous.
It's
gonna be gorgeous. We did hear one young lady walked by me today, said, "Are you a YouTuber?" We said, "Yeah." They said, "What do you think?" And so I said, "We love it." She goes, "The only thing that we find that we miss is all of the Disney touches." And I think it's the same complaint people are having of the remodels of the hotels. They're kind of stripping a lot of the character away.
But that's assuming that it's finished, and it's not finished.
Well, except for
we can see areas of the deck that they're going to put in benches or they're going to put in hammocks. Or
Right, but
put
meaning
the
a lot of
Mount Rushmore.
Disney arts. Like there isn't a Mount Rushmore. There's not a lot of the buildings with
finished.
characters painted on them. I don't think some of that's going to come. I think they planned it to be more neutral and Bahamian and a celebration of the culture.
Which I love.
It's gorgeous.
But the Disney will come too.
Yeah.
It's not finished.
Yeah. So,
but what isn't going to change is how beautiful this sand is.
Yeah, this
what
sand...
What isn't going to change is how stunning this water is.
This sand is so much nicer than Castaway Cay. We went to Castaway Cay yesterday and I'm walking in the gritty sand, walked over rocks and shells, my feet hurt. Out here, this is just soft
Pristine,
and powdery.
Beautiful
It's
sand.
gorgeous sand.
Yeah.
So, we love it. We love it. And the Wish will be coming here regularly, and so you've got a smaller...
The Magic.
I'm not the Wish, I'm sorry. And the Magic will be coming here regularly, so you'll have a smaller crowd until they do have 2 ships. The Fantasy and the Treasure and all of the big ones.
Plenty of chairs.
Yeah.
Just not over on the beach side.
Just
and
not on the water
hopefully they'll move a lot of them over to the beach side.
Now, hopefully they'll learn that people want more. In fact, we're looking at a piece of the beach here we'll
Which
show
is,
you in a
once
moment.
again,
that
I
has
think it's
no
not
chairs.
finished.
It has no chairs out here.
That they just haven't had a chance to move them over.
Yeah. So
But I know that they have things on order. Like I asked about the wheelchairs,
the
beach
sand
access,
wheelchairs.
sand wheelchairs, and they said they're coming.
Oh, okay. Well,
so
that's good to know.
Things are on order.
Yeah.
Things are here. Like the other day, they didn't have strollers all up and down the tram stops. Now they have all of those.
I saw the
bob
wagons.
strollers and wagons
yeah.
to help parents.
Yeah.
Or to even not even parents. Like if you just have a bunch of stuff that you're schlepping out to the beach.
Right.
Take
Yeah, the
a wagon.
wagons are awesome. That's a great idea. I mean, a lot of young families have wagons nowadays. But
you can borrow Disney's.
But you can borrow Disney's little red ones.
And make it down the long walk and then get
And
on the tram.
You just I think you already put it. You recorded you getting it, but just a summary. They have Dole Whip with boba.
Yes.
That's a treat.
worth the walk alone.
Castaway Key doesn't have that.
Fabulous. Fabulous.
So it's beautiful. I'm looking forward to finishing out the rest of our day. Thank you for watching, and if you've made it this long, we appreciate. Yeah, come see it.
Enjoy Lookout Cay.
If you're on this particular cruise with us and watching this, please leave your comments. Let us know what you think.
That's right. Give us a piece of your mind.
And we'd love to hear from it. I mean, obviously, our opinion's just our opinion, and other people
And
have
if you
different
have
opinions.
questions,
Yeah, and if you do have
please,
questions, please
we
reach
would
out
love
to us.
to help answer any questions
Absolutely.
about the accessibility or about just
Just anything.
Lookout Cay.
Yeah, we thought it was awesome overall. Again, some growing pains. Everything new takes a little while to acclimate.
It'll come around.
But
it's gonna be magnificent.
It's wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. Some of the cruise ships I heard have like big water parks and big. This is not.
Still
This
might
is
be
still.
in the plan. They've got two.
Oh, they've got a lot of
water
space.
parks.
But who knows? Maybe I don't personally want that. I love this.
I want a pool.
I love this relaxing environment. You come to the beach and you want a pool, just stay on the ship. Why do you want a pool here?
It's nice, like when you.
It would be nice, like the
gotten
Alani,
sticky and
to
then
have
you
a
get
zero-
Yeah, exactly.
A zero view
Yeah.
pool. That would be nice. Make it
Not
Alani
everybody
like.
likes the sticky salt
That's true.
water.
The sticky salt water can, although it'd probably be a saltwater pool.
That's true.
Oh well.
That would be
Again,
lovely.
thanks for watching. Leave your comments, like, subscribe. You know how it all works. We're glad you're here. Be good to others. Bye bye.
She's laughing at us. She's so laughing at us. I know.
Bye, Lookout Cay. We'll see ya hopefully soon.